everybody. Welcome to this episode of 10 रुपए की पेप्सी हमारा शाहरुख सेक्सी. I don't even have the energy to be happy to announce this podcast.
आज हमारा शाहरुख
Um,
सेक्सी नहीं था गाइस.
शाहरुख बिल्कुल सेक्सी नहीं था.
with a lot of disappointment, I'm going to tell you the movie we watched. The movie we watched is Zero, and that's what we will be discussing today. Um, and I chose the movie. I'm sorry, everybody, that I chose this movie, but
It's okay, bro. At least it's out of the way. We don't have to think about it for the
yeah,
next
that's what
60
जल्दी निकल गई.
episodes.
that's what
शुरू में निकल गई.
that's what I wanted. I wanted to get this movie out of my system as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Why I chose the movie, I'll tell you. I think a lot of people, I don't know, चार दोस्त जो सुनते हैं उनको तो पता होगा, but now we have some listeners listening in. So I am someone with a disability. I'm a wheelchair user. So when Zero had come, Anushka Sharma is ambitious in the movie, which I'll come to in the later when I try to talk about the summary of the movie, a plot. But yeah, she is a scientist and she has a disability, but she has a voice and ambition, all of that. She looks like how I looked when this movie came in 2018. So I was like, this is my story. The poster had her in CP, the pillars of CP, which is where like I'm a Delhi girl and I've spent a lot of my college life, post-college life in CP. It's a love story. That's what they said. I was promised a love story, and of
In a
course,
way,
like
it is a love
as a
story, guys. It is a love story between Shahrukh and his fans. It is a test of how much you love him if you have watched this movie up to the end. Sorry, Preeti, please go on.
Oh.
very true. So anyway, so मुझे लगा था मेरे लिए एक मूवी आई है, and that's not really what did end up happening in my experience. But anyway, that was my idea that Shah Rukh is doing something about representation of people with disability. I've never seen that growing up, so that's the reason I had gone for this, and then I was very disappointed about it, and I wanted to talk about it in a podcast to talk about how this did everything wrong about what they were trying to achieve. I still don't know what they were trying to achieve by this movie, though. So, yeah, that's the reason I tried. I asked you to watch this with me. I think now it will look like a monologue. So, can anybody help me to summarize this movie?
बहुत मुश्किल है यार. That's why we wanted you to do it. Like it's I don't understand the movie. I've seen it
think,
twice now, which
honestly,
is 2 times
exactly.
more than anybody should watch it.
Not only is the movie extremely bad, but whatever plot that they have going on is extremely confusing, because at one point they just made like a jump of 9-10 months, and I actually wanted to pause and ask, like, what just happened? Like, she was with him and now she is with him, and now that other person is with him and he is with nobody, and I was so confused. I was like, did I have too many drinks? Did I miss a chapter? Like, what is going on?
स्पार्क नोट्स चाहिए हमें इस मूवी के लिए, लेकिन ठीक है, लेट मी ट्राई टू attempt at summarizing the plot of the movie. Aafia is a scientist who works with NASAR, which is like basic fictional NASA. She has a disability. She is in Delhi to talk about the chimpanzee in the movie because she wants to send somebody in the like Mars. There is this guy Bauua who has like a very big ego for whatever reason,
Pause.
and
Question on the plot. So, spoiler alert, but was it that nobody else was willing to go to Mars and that's why they wanted to send the chimpanzee, but then they got Shah Rukh Khan to agree to go to Mars, and then that's why they decided to send Shah Rukh? Like, is that what happened?
I mean, if I'm seriously considering the answer, they did not think of sending a person. Like, you first send a chimpanzee and then you start thinking of whether you want to send a person.
Then why did they decide to
And
send Shah Rukh? Like, what changed? What flipped for the leaders at this NASR that made them decide कि नहीं हमें बंदर को नहीं शाहरुख को भेजना चाहिए?
Chimpanzee made a fit, basically. That's
वो
what they show
जब
us.
वो होता है ना, हाँ, जो शो होता है जहाँ पे शाहरुख आ जाता है उसको अपना प्यार का इजहार करने के लिए, and then he goes into a fit, the chimpanzee. वो मियाँ 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 करते रहती है ना, बोलते रहती है उसको कि रुक जा बहुत हो गया. That's when
Okay,
they decide, okay,
got
maybe
it.
you
Fair
probably
enough.
should have watched
That
it a little more.
makes some sense, I guess. Continue with the plot,
So
Preeti.
wow, we have
But the
answers now.
editing is so bad that you miss these points. I like see this should flow logically अच्छा जैसे ऐसे ऐसे हो रहा है, but
इस
that
मूवी
does
में
not
कोई
happen.
लॉजिक नहीं है. सॉरी, आई एम कटिंग यू ऑफ डिगी, but
It's
anyway,
okay.
I'll come to Baua's introduction. Baua is a 38-year-old man who is for some reason infantilized in the movie by everybody because he is dwarf. They call him vertically challenged, but I'm going to say dwarf. But anyway, so yeah, उसका बाप उसे बेल्ट से मारता है, like because I don't know, he's बदतमीज also. But I don't know, like doesn't make any sense. But yeah, he goes into this marriage bureau because he wants to get married, I guess, but not really because he's rejecting everybody. And then he sees Anushka Sharma's face card. Is that what we're calling it?
Face card.
Because yeah, she's
फोटो देखता है ना उसका
he
and
just
he's
sees
smitten by
Oh,
her
you literally mean a
beauty.
face card. मैं बोलूँ ये कौन
yeah,
सा
yeah,
Gen Z
yeah.
language क्यों फिर से लेकर आ रहे हैं?
No,
Right,
but
yes, he sees a
नहीं
it
नहीं,
face
is
card.
Gen
उसकी
Z
फोटो
language because like Anushka has the face card like her. She's beautiful. So
या फिर
Yeah.
वो बोलता है कि मुझे तुम कुछ भी ये दिखाते रहते हो, ये लड़की तो बहुत सुंदर है. एंड देन दिस गाय इज लाइक, ओ शी इज नॉट फॉर यू, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला. Lots of problematic way to introduce Anushka to him, but then he goes to meet her, and then he sees that she is a girl on a wheelchair, and because the face card didn't really have the wheelchair, so but he still for some reason is smitten by her or wants to woo her. So he brings a gamla to a school where she's giving some speech, and I think I'm going into too much detail. But anyway, so
it's okay, dude. We
yeah,
don't have anything to review about this movie. We might as well spend more
हाँ,
time
I'm so happy
summarizing
to
it.
let you keep talking. तुम बात करते रहो.
they have a meet cute or whatever the fuck that is, where he tries to tell her कि तुम तो कुछ नहीं, आज पता नहीं जो भी. Something happens, and then there is a stage show where she's talking about how she's amazing scientist, blah blah blah, and then he tells her कि ये पेन नहीं उठा सकती, एक ऐसी scientist है, all of that. But then they fall in love at some point, and there is a romance song, and then she comes to their house, so that, and then they in sudden minute are getting married, but he does not want to get married, so he fucks off from the wedding and goes to this actor Babita, played by Katrina Kaif.
So
The
we don't make videos, sorry, Preeti, we don't make videos. It's just an audio, but you have to see Preeti's what the fuck expression. It's like ये मैं क्यों बोल रही हूँ?
Like
ये
so
क्या चल रहा है?
disgusted she is.
Her
Like
expression is like क्या है ये movie? Go on, Preeti.
it is like, go on, Preeti. There is so much more I wanted to talk about this movie, but the plot is only, oh my god, shit. But anyway, he goes to Babita, she kisses him while she is drunk, and then she says, तेरे को कोई believe नहीं करेगा that some you have kissed me. Then he goes, I don't know. Then he's living with her for 10 months. At some point, she starts liking him as a friend, or like, I don't know. Like, she just keeps the tonality is that she keeps him. Like, I don't know. You keep a dog? I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what they meant whenever they said that. But then she's there on the plot line only to say that he's actually in love with Aafia, and she's actually in love with Aditya Kapoor, who is the reason why she was all this sad and drunk all this time. And what then he goes, and then and then
Wait, I think
Aafia
we should just
asks
take a
him.
moment to appreciate the fact that Katrina's love interest in the movie is played by Abhay Deol, who looks very dapper and who is the only, I think, good-looking person in the entire movie, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, Katrina looks beautiful, but they've given her this very makeup look. Actually, even Anushka looked very beautiful, but Abhay Deol was very dapper. I appreciated the screen time that was given to him because I had someone to look at. So
Yeah, the only simping moment we today have is for Abhay Deol.
actually, a little bit for Madhavan also because he was very green flag behavior for whatever few minutes that he was on the screen. So I can't believe in
Yeah,
in a
anyways.
Shah Rukh Khan movie we are appreciating the two men who had cameo appearances. That is so sad. But go on, please finish the
But
story.
yes, Madhavan, 1 year passes. Madhavan is we see Madhavan proposing Anushka with "Will you marry me?" done held by the chimpanzee she wants to send to Mars, and he shoots Shah Rukh because Shah Rukh is there to meet her, and then tells her, "You are nothing." Blah blah blah. He sees a child. There is a child involved now. There is a baby. When did they have a baby? They just slept once together. What are these sperms? Why are people not taking care of their sexual? I don't know. Where are the condoms? We are in 2018. God fucking damn it. They just slept well. What is happening? But anyway, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm going unnecessarily about this. But anyway, so then he says, I will go to Mars. And he goes to Mars and he never says no, I will not go because he thinks he will stop him, but he never stops him because now Desh is involved, so he goes to the Mars and then that's it. Then 15 years go by and he is still young. That is what the movie tells us, and that's what the movie ends. I don't know if this is the plot of the movie or the movie in how many
Yeah, so
minutes
I've
did I
seen the
try
movie
to
twice.
describe,
I've
but
heard the plot once. I still don't know what this movie is about. I mean, is it
This movie
issue
is about
conflict क्या है?
proving your
मतलब
love for Shah Rukh Khan as a fan. That is what this movie is about. It's
can
about
you see?
तुम
Can you
किस
put
हद
yourself
तक
through it?
जाओगे. तुम शाहरुख के फैन अगर अपने आप को बोल रहे हो तो तुम किस हद
Dude,
तक
I can't
जाओगे.
believe Ambrish said Donkey is worse than this. I cannot believe this. Donkey is a fucking masterpiece. ठीक है, ऑस्कर दे दूं मैं उसको जीरो के कंपैरिजन में. I mean, it is so. It is. Oh God, I can't believe इतनी चीजें गलत थी इस मूवी में. And honestly, for the first time around when I saw the movie, I didn't notice a lot of problematic parts about it. Well, I noticed some of it, but I just did not have that lens, that perspective. I still knew it's a very bad movie. Like a lot of the things in this movie are shitty. Like the editing is bad, story is bad. You don't know what the message they're trying to say. Conflict क्या है यार actually movie में मतलब हो क्या रहा है? What is driving people to do the things that they're doing? कोई सेंस ही नहीं है. कुछ भी चल रहा है.
Yeah,
कोई
I
मोटिवेशन
didn't believe
कुछ
for
भी
a
चल रहा है.
second that Shah Rukh was in love with either Katrina or Anushka. I felt like
हाँ.
he's a very self-obsessed character and
Yeah.
मतलब
उसकी
just wants to be a chutia maybe because the world was cruel to him, so he wants to be cruel to the world. That's the sense that I got. I don't know.
Yeah, and they should have
None of
just
his
gone with
actions.
that ना. मतलब क्यों
Yeah.
ऐसा love story
no,
उस पे
but
दिखाने? Show a
yeah.
bitter man because of a life having dealt him a card that he didn't want. ऐसा दिखा दो मतलब कुछ कुछ बना
Yeah.
दो उसके कारण. ये पता नहीं क्या कोशिश कर रहे थे, मुझे समझ ही नहीं आया.
Matlab, I think that this is what they were trying to do, but they did a very bad job at it. Also, I think when people
Matlab,
who
I
have
think
not lived,
if we are making those assumptions, it's because of what we believe, what our understanding of people in his scenario might be. And I don't know if the movie makers were even trying to go in that direction because we are just projecting our thoughts onto the film now to make some sense of it. But बहुत बकवास फिल्म थी यार, बहुत ज्यादा बकवास. मतलब it was so nonsensical. The plot was so broken. The characterizations were just I don't get it. At one point, Anushka is shown as someone who's very self-pitying, and then in the next scene, she's shown as someone who's who has a very high regard for herself. And I didn't get what the filmmakers were trying to say about anyone in the film. even Babita for that matter, like Katrina's character was, I at least liked the scenes that she was in somewhat. Okay, मतलब वो थोड़ा तो उसका screen presence था, and like she had a little bit of comic timing, and it was fun to watch her. But even then, even with her, what were they trying to show? What were they trying to say? Like she's on in 1 second she's like crying over Abhay Deol hooking up with someone else, and then 10 months later she's back with Abhay Deol. She has a ring on her finger. She's cutting a cake with him, and she's kicking Bauua out of her house. I did not get what was happening. I
And
just
then
did
two
not get
minutes
what
later,
was
she's
happening.
kicking Abhay Deol out of the house.
Yeah.
2 minutes later, she's like, "You also get out." Like, uska arc kya hai?
And
And
then
what
she's crying.
again? So what motivated Shahrukh to provoke Katrina to, humiliate him so much that he leaves? Why does that make sense? I have no idea. कि मुझे और जिल्लत करो यार और मुझे बेइज्जत करो. She does that, and somehow that motivates Katrina to break up with Abhay Deol and tell him you fuck off. And they're trying to portray it in such a badass girl boss moment. नहीं है यार, वो समझ ही नहीं आ रहा है कुछ
But
चल
that's
क्या
what
रहा है.
मैंने बोला ना, जब वो मतलब there were a lot of scenes in the movie when the scene was happening, you could tell कि जिसने भी ये scene direct किया है, इसका पूरा मतलब cinematography किया है, उनको लग रहा था कि वो बहुत फाड़ कुछ बना रहे हैं. मतलब they were
आनंद
thinking
आनंद एल
that
राय
some
जो
whoever is watching this is
supposedly a
going to
very
be
good
blown
director.
away by what is happening on screen. I don't know what colored goggles they were wearing to think कि ये बहुत मतलब, oh my God, it was just like there were so many Bollywood bigwigs involved. There were so many cameos, and I just can't believe nobody who was part of the filmmaking process stopped for a second to think, ये हम क्या कर रहे हैं? क्यों कर रहे हैं?
So I think they were just so passionate about the whole VFX part of the movie because it was a big deal for
Yeah.
India. Like VFX, like Red Chillies has the best VFX in the country even today. They were building up to it. Every shot was shot 5 times, 4 times with different angles, blah blah blah. Is
Yeah.
is what the directors and the movie makers have been talking about in the interviews for Zero back in the day. So I think they just got lost in getting that right that they just forgot what they were trying to achieve. Like
I think a
the
movie like Ravan can ride on the VFX angle because it's more sci-fi in nature. Like there's robots and there's like people going, the robots fighting and all of that, right? Like it is more driven by VFX. This was, I felt it was still a human story at the crux of it, and they just did
that's what
they
they
just
forgot.
yeah,
That's
they forgot.
they didn't care. I think they did care. So like I watched a bunch of interviews before watching this movie because I've had issues, a lot of issues with the movie and the representation for years now. So this time watching it felt चूतिया लोग कुछ भी नहीं पता है इनको. It didn't feel so personal this time. Back when it felt personal. So that's what they were trying. What they say in the interviews is that these three people are misfits in their own ways. Bauua is a dwarf. Life dealt him cards. He doesn't know the height. He has an ego. He's got the money. I don't know where the money is coming from, but anyway, like he's self-guarding himself by making those big ego, all of those jokes. She is a scientist, but somewhere she is still a misfit because she's a wheelchair user. And Katrina is an alcoholic, heartbroken, so she's still a misfit because she does not like she's a superstar, but she is alone and she is an alcoholic. I think, and all of them are misfits in their own way. That's what they talk about in the interviews, but that's not what comes across in the movie at all. Like the writing is just it's hideous. It's it's
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
मतलब ऐसे कौन बात करता है यार कि मतलब see in one
The
point
only
in one scene yeah
The only dialogue I remember is Katrina saying, मैं तो इतनी गोरी हूँ, मुझे मेकअप की जरूरत नहीं है. I just laughed so much at that because within 6 months of this movie releasing, she launched her makeup brand. And like I've seen that scene on reels and stuff, and I had no idea which movie it was from. I thought it was maybe from one of her older ones. I saw it and I was like, yeah, this was one only memorable
yeah.
dialogue or scene in the entire film. Like,
मेरे को तो बहुत बहुत ज्यादा चीजें याद है इस मूवी से एक्चुअली द फर्स्ट थिंग इज द पेन वाला सीन व्हेन he just
कौन सा पेन वाला सीन?
like when she's on a stage and Shah Rukh Khan
Oh,
goes
he
to her
drops the
and
pen,
he's
he
like
challenges her to pick it up.
हाँ
Yeah.
मैं क्यों उठाऊं like what are you like so for me if you were trying to make a point at that, the point would have been her saying, "You fuck off from here, and I don't need to prove my worth and my ability or disability just by picking up her that pen." Like if they met somebody with disability who's that ambitious or a scientist, all of that, that wouldn't have been a plausible plot. Uh, Personal
But
opinion.
I get it, but what do you think they were trying to show? Obviously, they wanted to make a point. They made a wrong point. But मतलब mind, what I thought
मतलब
they were
तुम
trying
उसको
to do
नीचे
was कि
दिखाओगे, तुम उसको
तो
नीचे
she
दिखाओगे तो भी वो प्रूफ कर देगी अपने आप को. आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट दे
Yeah,
कि
थॉट.
हाँ
आई
मतलब
डोंट नो.
हाँ, I think they
I felt like
मतलब they're trying to show कि मतलब I am still able to do whatever you're challenging me to do. She doesn't need to do that, but
yeah, I think
She
that's
doesn't
what
like.
it was, right?
it's
That she was trying
yeah,
to prove कि देखो मैं कर सकती हूँ, but the thing is she didn't have anything to prove. Like she's a
she,
fucking
yeah,
scientist at NASA का जो भी knockoff they were.
NSAR,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the fact that they had to include a scene in the movie where she feels the need to prove herself in spite of that was obviously unnecessary.
एंड दैट ऑल्सो जब उनकी शादी होने वाली होती है तो गाय द फादर आस्क्स हर नो कि why this guy, he is not educated as you are and all of that. वो तब भी यही बोलते हैं कि मेरे को आज तक किसी ने इक्वल तरीके से नहीं देखा. ही लुक्स एट लाइक, आई नो शी यूजेस द वर्ड हाइट बट मे बी शी इज टॉकिंग अबाउट इक्वालिटी इन सम सेंस.
Hmm.
इट डजंट फिट विद मी यार. लाइक मतलब she is educated
So
in
I
the
think
states. She's
that point, at least I understood what they were trying to say was he doesn't treat me differently because of my disability. He treats me normally. That's
it
what they were
doesn't,
trying to
right?
say.
Like
That I don't know if
that's
it
what
does
my
or not.
problem.
That's what she was saying. I think that's what she's trying to express. कि मतलब वैसे if he's an
But he's
asshole
not
to everybody, he's
pitying
asshole
her.
to me. He's not pitying me out of random. That's the point she was trying to make to her
So
father,
isn't
and that's it.
Maddie. He never
So
ever, there is
Maddie
like,
तो is a fucking green flag. मतलब वो उसका तो comparison ही
no,
नहीं है कि
मतलब my problem with that movie is that even in that
हम्म,
fight scene, she says कि तुम 38 साल के हो गए, तुम्हें आज तक किसी लड़की ने इक्वली देखा है जैसे मैं तुम मुझे देखते हो, हम सेम लेवल, एक बराबरी का रिश्ता. All of that is there because like that's what I thought about it. कि misfit, like nobody has, like they've never been loved because
हम्म.
they are not treated equally in
I
this
actually felt
world.
like they were pitying each other. I mean, in that whole, in spite
Yeah,
of
and
whatever
that's
this.
so. बट फिर वो हो
I
गया
think
ना
Shahrukh
मैडी को.
doesn't. He constantly pities himself.
But
I don't think he pities her. Does he?
यार वो शुरू में ही वो बोलता
Bullshit.
है तो कार्ड पे मतलब फोटो में तो व्हील चेयर नहीं दिखी एंड ऑल दैट तो आई डोंट थिंक एट एनी पॉइंट ही कंसिडर्ड her his equal also like because and they've also shown him as somebody like वो 38 years का है शादी.com ब्यूरो पे पता नहीं 8-10 साल से है and he's been rejecting everyone so I don't think yeah he might have had that self pity but I don't think he's like a very confident guy I don't even know what I'm trying to say I'm just like the movie in that regard but
Confident तो नहीं मतलब वो है तो वो छिछोरा ही and he plays that character. मतलब the characterization is like Shahrukh has sort of given to him is very similar to Gaurav in Fan. A lot of his ways of talking, that छिछोरापन वो वहीं से
हाँ,
आता है. If you
दिल्ली
see
वाला कुछ मतलब
दिल्ली
मेरठ
वाला,
दिखाया है बट इट्स मोर
yeah.
दिल्ली. बट but still it doesn't work, yeah, not at all. It, like, for
yeah
me,
nothing
that
works
there is
in
no
the movie.
Yeah.
charm.
Is there
There
anything
is.
good you like? Anything you liked about the movie at all?
The
Is
shooting
anything?
star
So I mean,
CGI. We have come a long way from the shooting
come
star
along.
CGI that we had in
Kabhi haan.
Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na. I noticed this while
हाँ.
we were watching and मैंने literally group में डाला message कि ये मैं बोलने वाली हूँ dibs on this because I don't know what is there to say about this movie. That is good.
Yeah.
I honestly
अच्छा,
चलो
don't
मैंने
feel like
बता
the
दिया.
one
VFX
thing,
was that good.
since
I know
since this
that's
is
one of the
very
things.
SR है.
Sorry, I'll
Yeah.
just finish that thought कि I know VFX के लिए award
Good.
वगैरह भी मिला है but मुझे तो वो भी नहीं लगा कि VFX बहुत अच्छा है. Like I thought the way they were depicting Shah Rukh's height was very inconsistent throughout the movie and I was able to see it very evidently. So I don't know किस बात का VFX award मिला है इनको but yeah.
वो तो ठीक है. VFX कितने 3-4 तो मूवीज होती हैं VFX की एक साल में. उसमें से red chilies will always get it.
Fair enough.
So I mean, what I was thinking was कि Shahrukh is playing a very different character in this movie, and since this is very SRK centric podcast, so let me address that. Do you think one, he was given a role, a bad role, and he acted good? Like he did a good job of acting out that bad role, and that's why it comes out to be shitty. Or is it Shahrukh actually not acting well also?
I don't think that he acts well in this movie. Like
Hmm.
if he really like I felt like he didn't put any effort only. That's my problem with the movie. Like, like in Fan, you
Yeah,
are compelled to hate, like whatever for Gaurav because
true,
like
true.
there is so much emotions. यार वो
Yeah,
उसको रोमांस कर रहे हैं उसको like whatever he's trying to flirt, he's trying to be
Yeah.
funny, nothing lands, and it's very like
it
his
doesn't
eyes are
evoke
not
emotion.
eyeing.
हाँ, yeah, it doesn't
He
evoke
like
the same emotion. कि मतलब तुम्हें थोड़ा ये भी नहीं लग रहा है कि what an asshole, मतलब कि क्या ही है यार ये, why is he acting like that,
but
why is he such a bad person, मतलब it's bland, as you said, right? It's true. I think this is one of the roles where he's just not done a good job.
And I want to
I
add
would
to
agree.
that.
like he's just
Yeah.
We've like typically we've also noted that any character SRK plays, he brings his own flavor to that character, right? Like you can tell when he's
Mhm.
kind of improvising or when he's bringing like his own that maybe stammering wala kink, well, not kink, what is the quirk? Sorry, it's very late at night, guys. Quirk. Or like you can
Hmm.
just tell that वो आंखों से
Yeah.
acting कर रहा है, that those are not things that are written in the script for a character, but it's him bringing his andaz to the role, right? And I didn't feel
Yeah.
that way about this character at all. Like I felt like he didn't bring anything to the table. The character was badly written, sure, but there was nothing he did also to like make to salvage it. I felt like it was a bad character and bad acting. And yeah, it's just very disappointing. So
Same, like Katrina is very, very nice in the movie.
yeah.
Anushka does a decent job as an actor for whatever is given to her, but
Hmm.
nothing else lands. And for me, the only thing which I liked about the movie was that they show a wheelchair accessible car. Like for me, that's the fucking dream, man. Like, and as I've grown trying to watch representation, like it's a thing that stayed with me. And earlier I would just like dispose some of the representations because we were in the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah.
But there is good cinema. I don't know Margarita with a Straw, how many people have watched. I don't know. I know this is a Shah Rukh Khan podcast and we shouldn't be talking about it. But yeah, like they also show romance. They also show her in the States. And that movie came way before Zero came. So थोड़ा इंस्पायर हो जाते साले मतलब मतलब the sex education, I don't know, we recently watched, like it
Yeah.
came very like recently, but there is so much more depth to the character. Like I'm all into show great characters with disability because yeah, I'm not a perfect person. I can be a bitch to people. कॉलेज में लोगों को लगता था मैं बहुत intimidating हूँ. I don't still know why, guys. But
What is this, MBA or is this
yeah,
undergrad?
MBA. No, undergrad.
People
I
thought
was
you were
like,
intimidating in MBA.
yes,
Arey
yes.
bro, she went on
हाँ,
stage
जोकर.
and did like a sex comedy act in her first year. मतलब
How is that
मुझे भी
intimidating?
थोड़ी intimidating लगी थी, ठीक है कि भाई बहुत ballsy लड़की है. I didn't know how to talk to her.
Damn,
Wow,
that's
that's
funny.
nice to know. But look, people use intimidating in a bad connotation sometimes. But
No,
anyway,
I
so
no, not
yes,
like that resting bitch face type of thing. I was more like I was like, whoa, she's so cool. Like, yeah.
Nice.
तो मतलब कुछ भी नहीं किया यार इन्होंने, तो मतलब मेरे लिए तो बहुत बड़ा डिसअपॉइंटमेंट भी नहीं बोला जा रहा है मुझसे ढंग से, because I've said this too many times now. But yeah, the wheelchair access car and the fact that she's wearing a sari in the last scene and she's running wherever she's running in that wheelchair has zero sense in the movie, but it makes like she looks pretty. She's on a wheelchair. She's going around. I like that scene particularly. Nothing else to say about the movie again.
Nothing else. I think overall just a very sarring, very bad experience watching the movie, right? It's see like how I look at movies is two lenses. One is that technically it's good in terms of editing, logic flow, story, and directing, acting. So then at least you can sit through it. And second, in the content in itself, is it problematic or not? And there are a lot of controversial movies, like Kabir Singh, Arjun Reddy, Animal, they fall into this, right? This movie zero fails on both fronts. Matlab, it is a lot of problematic elements to it as well, and then like generally a shit movie in terms of the technical aspects of
हाँ
cinema. तो मतलब कोई redeeming factor ही नहीं है, वो एक दो cameo है, उसके basis पे थोड़ा movie चला लोगे तुम. So overall I think very very bad
गाना एक अच्छा है बस I would say there's one song which has stayed with me
I
for
didn't
some
like
years
any of the
now,
songs
which is
also. Honestly, I
songs are
thought
nice.
the
One song
music
was
was
nice.
very forgettable.
Forgettable, yes,
जब
you like it in that
जब तक
moment.
जहाँ
It's not
में
something.
I still sing sometimes, so maybe it's just
Preeti,
a
you
kind
are
of
like a
music I like, but
music nut. मतलब you will sing songs from the 60s also. तो वो भी याद रहेगा.
हाँ
Cool.
but बाकी तो
So I
गाने कुछ
think
ज्यादा अच्छे नहीं थे.
yeah, overall just a very bad experience. If you guys haven't watched it, I would recommend you to not watch it. Wikipedia पे summary पढ़ लो. उतना ही काफी होगा.
I can't
जिंदगी
believe you
के
both have
ढाई
watched
घंटे
this twice. Like,
twice.
I cannot
Watched
believe.
this twice. This is just
Yeah, and
such
मैंने
a
थिएटर
bad.
में देखी थी
When
अपनी
I watched
मम्मी
in
के साथ
theater में,
में.
I bunked office. Like I watched two movies this day. I watched Simba, yeah, and this one. Thank God Simba was a better movie. मतलब
मैंने अपनी मम्मी के साथ में देखी थी और मेरी मम्मी तो रो रही थी क्योंकि उनको लग रहा था वाओ किसी ने व्हील चेयर में दुल्हन दिखाई है, हमने तो कभी सोचा ही नहीं था, ऑल दीज थिंग्स,
हाँ
हाउ दे
मतलब ठीक है.
थिंक आई थिंक,
Yeah,
सो आई थिंक दैट्स द थिंग, लाइक हाउ माय मॉम थॉट आई वुड रिएक्ट इन अ सिचुएशन, बट दैट्स नॉट व्हाट आई थॉट एनीवे. हाँ,
it's
सो
just
मेरी
such
मम्मी
a
को अच्छी लगी
nuanced
थी.
thing you said also. How they think you think and how they think people with disabilities or with who not do off think. तो मतलब instead of actually asking or maybe doing the research, they just assume.
हाँ मतलब प्लीज शाहरुख खान मेरे को ले लेते यार रिसर्च करने में, मतलब मैं क्या, मतलब मेरा क्या ड्रीम था, आल्सो ट्रिविया अलर्ट, बट द गाय हु प्रोवाइडेड द व्हीलचेयर
Yeah.
actually is the guy who like I bought my wheelchair from in Mumbai, and I was like bro wheelchair वहां से लिए, उससे पूछ लेते ना कि तुम्हारे कोई you know you have people who will be fit in some of these characteristics so that we could research something. कुछ नहीं
Maybe they
रिसर्च
did.
करती, मैं मिल
Like
के आ
maybe
जाती यार. मेरे को
maybe
नहीं
they
पूछा
did.
ना, आई वांट टू फील इम्पोर्टेंट.
Oh man.
सॉरी दिस इज टू
Anyway,
सेल्फ ऑब्सेसिव, बट यस.
it's okay.
हाँ,
Cool.
तो
So I
हम
think
क्विज कर रहे हैं कि नहीं कर रहे
simp
हैं?
simp movement तो नहीं है बिल्कुल भी
बिल्कुल भी नहीं है.
इसका. तो डिजर्व भी नहीं करता है यार. It's okay. Sometimes you can be objective fans also. And I
Cool.
think Preeti has something different for us this time around.
हाँ
Preeti, you do right? Yeah, or we just sort of bomb you
हाँ
on the
हाँ, नहीं
podcast.
नहीं,
You
है
do.
हम क्विज
ठीक
कर रहे
है.
हैं राइट. हाँ क्योंकि बिल्कुल सिंप
Cool.
मोमेंट नहीं है, जीरो की रेटिंग, जीरो माइनस
Zero.
ग्रेविटी, पता
Zero,
नहीं
never
जो भी
Zero,
watching
है.
it
zero.
again. Never watching it,
Zero,
irrespective
zero.
of who's cast in
Absolutely.
the film.
Yeah, this is very
Actively
valid.
trying to forget every moment of the film currently. So,
हाँ.
इसके
Yeah.
सेम
सामने
फीलिंग्स.
मोहब्बतें मास्टरपीस लग रही है मुझे. ठीक है, मैंने 2.5 स्टार दिया उसको, मैं चार चार दे देती
कसरत
हूँ.
से ना I'd get donkey a fucking Oscar for this. अगर ऐसे compare कर. Anyways, I think we can just move on to what Preeti has planned for us. I think it's a short quiz just to keep people or us engaged and do something different
To sleep
to
better
the
tonight, I
podcast
have
to
five
sleep better.
questions.
Yeah.
5 questions, very fun questions. But okay, first question: who all were the celebs who made cameos? Can you name them?
Alia Bhatt, Sridevi,
दीपिका पादुकोण, करिश्मा
Deepika
कपूर,
Padukone,
काजोल, जूही
Kajol,
चावला, सलमान
Juhi
खान,
Chawla,
माधवन,
Abhay Deol.
आबे देओल, और कोई था?
Who else? Who
I
else?
think that's all.
Malika Dua. Malika Dua.
Oh yeah, Malika
The
Dua.
celeb.
Monica Dua.
The celeb. Yeah. That's all I remember, I think. Actresses में और कोई था नहीं. We covered all, no?
नहीं, I think we covered all.
Yeah, I think all are covered. Good.
ठीक है, नहीं हुए तो
Uh,
क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Okay,
what
next.
did like what did Maddie say when these guys are sitting in the restaurant? There is a question, it's a scientific question, like not scientific question. He asks her a question while they're having that date kind of thing
Hmm.
where he is talking about Bauua is nice for this experiment and all that. There is one small thing that he says.
I
What
think
does
he
he say?
asked,
I
do
pretty
you
much
hate him or love him?
नहीं
something
साइंटिफिक बोल दिया
related
ना.
to
ऐसा कुछ तो
studies.
पूछा था
हाँ
उसने.
हाँ, ये तो पूछा
ओ
था. उसके
क्योंकि वो
अलावा भी
तुम्हारी
उसने
तरह समथिंग कॉलेज नहीं गया है या something like that. I don't know. Oh wait, he says the chimpanzee तो
चिंपैंजी ने कौन
MIT
सा
से
एमआईटी
आया
कह
है
रहा
ना.
है?
हाँ.
ये तुम्हारा
हाँ
चिंपैंजी ने कौन
but
सा एमआईटी से? बट दैट्स प्रीति इज आस्किंग समथिंग एल्स. क्या है पता नहीं पता.
he just asks her as a final decision कि तुम्हारी मैथ सही है ना?
Oh,
This is a very random answer, sorry.
Yeah, that's not when he asks that.
that was not when he
Yeah,
asked her
yeah,
that.
he asks us.
That's not when he
Yeah,
asks that.
that's
वो तो
yeah,
not at the
you are
restaurant
correct.
ना. It was
That's
during.
later. घर घुर पे होते हैं
Yeah.
कहीं. अंदर होते हैं कहीं पे वो. मैं बात कर रहा हूँ ना कहीं से मैच सही है ना यदि 100%.
हाँ.
And then, hey
अच्छा ठीक
Preeti,
है, maybe
wrong
I got
question.
the math wrong.
You got the math wrong. -1.
I got the
We'll do
math
this
wrong.
quiz a little bit better next time, guys. ये
Yeah,
थोड़ा
yeah.
new idea.
New idea. We're also figuring this out.
How
Execution issue.
how
Yeah.
old do you think is the baby when Shah Rukh Khan returns from Mars?
So he has sex with
16
her.
years?
Then he leaves 10 months. No, 9. He
No.
has to be around 3. Oh, we're from Mars.
Yeah, on
हाँ,
Mars.
16
So
साल.
3 months, 3 months, 6 months. हाँ 15 plus 1 साल
Do
16
they
साल ही हो
really
गए यार.
glazed over the fact that they had a baby together, by the way? That baby was there for
16
like
17 साल हो गए
10
तो मैं.
seconds in the movie and then they all forgot about it. It's just...
पर वो पर वो 1 साल 1.5 साल के लिए ट्रेनिंग भी तो करता है ना बिफोर
वो
गोइंग टू द
180
मार्स.
days था
ऐसे
ना.
थोड़ी ना चला जाता है.
180 days. 6 months he was training.
Yeah.
And he came 1
Oh,
month. So
nice.
मतलब should have
15
been.
plus 6. So he
हाँ.
came 10 months after he left. तो बच्चा तो 9 महीने तो कोक में रहा होगा. तो मतलब 7 महीने लगा लो. 6 महीना ऑफ ट्रेनिंग,
हाँ
3
भाई तो
महीना
15-16
ऑफिस
years.
दे. हाँ 16 साल के आसपास. अब इतना प्लस माइनस चलता है प्रीति.
ठीक है. Who plays the mom of Shah Rukh Khan?
That actress
Oh
who
shit.
always plays a very
Darlings
sad role
वाली.
in most.
नहीं Darlings
नहीं
में
नहीं,
नहीं. Darlings में तो
डार्लिंग्स
वो
नहीं
थी
है.
शिफाली शादी. Sorry. I don't remember.
बधाई 2 में जो होती है. बधाई बधाई 2 में. हाँ बधाई 2 में. I think so. She,
मेरे
who
को
always
नाम नहीं
plays the
मालूम.
mom थोड़ी ऐसे. I think she's in color also I think. I'm forgetting. ऐसी मुझे एक्ट्रेस का नाम नहीं पता but I know the face.
Wow, now I'm forgetting her name myself. नहीं. Shivani
शिफाली शाह.
something. नहीं
शिफाली
नहीं.
शाह तो नहीं है.
Wow, I am doing such a bad job at this
I would have to
whatever
say so.
game this is.
Yes.
Yeah.
आपने
अच्छा
आंसर
ठीक है.
साइड पे तो
Name the
लिख रखी
director.
है.
नहीं मैंने
आनंद एल
लिखे थे
राय.
यार वो.
आनंद एल राय. मनीष शर्मा इज द राइटर. आनंद एल राय इज द डायरेक्टर. ये तो
Her name is
पता है.
Sheba
गानों.
Chadda, by the way. I just googled it.
शिवा चड्ढा.
Shiva
शिवा
Chadha.
चड्ढा. शिवा
Shiva
चड्ढा.
Chadha.
या.
Yeah. Sorry
आनंद.
guys.
दैट्स ओके.
चलो ठीक है. हाँ आनंद राय ने कोई और मूवी कौन सी डायरेक्ट की है? Like can you just
तनु एड्स मनु रिटर्न्स. अतरंगी रे. अरे यार ये तो फेमस डायरेक्टर है भाई.
ठीक
ऐसा थोड़ी
है.
ना
Dicky Wins. I
Dicky
forfeit.
Wins.
जब अब तुम फिल्म के बाहर का ट्रिविया पूछने लग जाओगे तो मुझे नहीं मालूम है.
फिल्म के बारे में कुछ पूछने को ही नहीं है मेरे पास वैसे तो ठीक है.
फिल्म का बहुत याद
मैडी का
रहेगा
नाम
तेरे
क्या
को.
है? मैडी का नाम
श्रेणी
क्या है?
श्रेणी श्रेणी श्रेणी.
Yeah, did you
Advantage
win the competition?
advantage of watching with subtitles. Yeah.
चलो ठीक है. I think this is a very bad quiz, just like the
No, but it's
movie.
good. I won. I like it. ऐसे ही होना चाहिए. Cool. So after a very shitty movie watching experience and above
And a
average
mediocre
quiz.
quiz.
Let's call it above average. I won, so it's above average. I think we can now go to looking at what the next movie is going to be. So I think we're doing 90s, right? And it's my choice to choose the movie.
Please be a good movie. Please be a good
I think
movie.
I know what it is, but I could be wrong because
it's
90s is filled with good movies. So
it's subjective. I'll tell you, it's subjective. Is it a good movie or not? I like it. There's a reason I picked the movie, especially after Zero, and I'll explain why. But yeah, you guys go ahead and you can give your guesses. 2 guesses each.
Based on the additional information you provided, I would like to revisit my guess because I don't think the ones which I had in mind were subjective good movies. But
Okay,
okay, I'll still go with the same ones. I think it's either Karan Arjun or Bazigar.
okay. Preeti.
Okay, mine was Dil To Pagal Hai and Basigar.
Oh, you guys are very close. I mean, Diksha's got it right.
There. Oh,
Bazigar, I almost went with Bazigar. I almost went with Bazigar because what a damn good movie, yaar. So I was thinking between Dar, Bazigar, and Karan Arjun. I went with Karan
there.
Arjun.
No?
And
Yay!
Oh,
so why I
मैंने
said
नहीं देखी है by the way
why I said
Karan
it's a
Arjun.
oh wow, damn. See, that's why I chose this movie. Because one, it's a subjective good movie because ठीक है, it's there are a lot of tropes which feel very old and very filmy. If you watch it, then you love that movie. There's a lot of some overacting here and there, but in effect, it's a damn good movie. मजा बहुत आता है. Why I chose this after Zero is because it is peak Bollywood. मतलब it is absolutely peak
देखिए
Bollywood.
तुम्हें ये
Full
नेक्स्ट
drama, full
एपिसोड में फुल
filming,
रिपीट करना है
reincarnation. मैं कर दूंगा यार.
क्यों
That's
क्यों
okay.
चूज किया है तो अभी के
I have
लिए
more. I have no. I have more explanations why I liked the movie then. But I thought I should address के Zero के बाद ये देखना थोड़ा जरूरी है. Make them go back to the roots of Bollywood and
अपने
really enjoy
अपनी
those.
जड़ें मत भूलो.
अपनी जड़ें मत भूलो. Enjoy that. कि sometimes it's okay to be deal with cliches and not to get too creative and still enjoy the experience. So that's why Karan Arjun is, is the
it's
movie for the
our
next week.
finally the first Kajol movie that we're going to be watching, so I'm
Oh
excited.
damn, yes. Shahrukh Kajol finally. That's
Oh
true.
wow,
That's
I
true.
have zero remember, of course, because I don't know the movie, I just know the songs. So excited to watch it with you guys.
Yeah,
And
man.
before
It is a
we
fun
close,
movie. Yeah, before we close, go ahead.
before we close, I want to take like some few minutes because I had chosen this torture on myself and for everybody to listen to this podcast. Just have a couple of things that I want to say. That I think as somebody with a disability who's grown into all of this, like बचपन में I've heard this कि तुमसे शादी कौन करेगा? अरे कितनी सुंदर लड़की है, बेचारी इसकी जिंदगी खराब हो गई. I'm earning decently. I'm doing well in my life, whatever it is. And even if I were not, like my biggest problem with that movie or anything representation sometimes is that we all we all celebrated Stephen Hawking be because he had a disability, but beyond that, he still became a scientist. But as a human being, Stephen Hawking deserved to be celebrated just like that as well. Like, I don't want to be proving my existence because I am proving it every day in some way or the other. It's a it's an unlearning that Diksha said in last episode that there's so much of it that we are still unlearning about our lives. So some of these things, when they're presented in such a way, and this is a mass movie, it did make 100 crores. People did go to watch it, or whatever the intentions were. Uh, I feel like ऐसा नहीं होता है यार. मतलब people are happy. People can be multi-layered. I can be, as I said, I don't need to be celebrated because I brushed my teeth today because I have a wheelchair or I don't know. I can be multi-layered. I have heartbreaks. I have been in love with people with disability, not disability. That's not what happens when you fall in love with people. You just fall in love. You can be lucky and unlucky for whatever reason that is. Plus, just don't make this about. I don't know. That's what my problem is. Ki just don't make this feel so misfitty. It's fine. Everybody's a bloody misfit in this fucking world. We don't know what we're doing. 42 is the answer of everything. So I don't know. But yeah, if you make your belief from cinema, in some way because it influences you, I don't know, talk to more people, I guess. That's not what my life looks like at all. Chutiya Sale. Bad writer, that's what this movie is all about. It's not about people with disabilities at fucking all. Go watch Sajan if you want to. That has a lot more layers than fucking Zero is. So yeah, that's my end to this very big rant. But thank you so much for listening, guys. Thank you, Nisha. Thank you, Dicky, for listening through my rant about this movie.
Always.
Yeah, the rant is fine. The movie will take compensation for.
शाहरुख खान से लो, उसने बनाई है.
True, man. That's
Hello
such a
guys,
bad
see you
movie.
soon.
Anyways, yeah, I think we'll just end the podcast at that. That is very
Thanks to everyone who tuned in.
nothing more to say.
We'll be
Yes,
back
yes.
next week.
Back soon with Karan Arjun. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.